Thank you for the best wife in the world. Mwah. We see you being doing having all the good you desire. Ain't that right, baby? And today's conversation is going to be about wiping your nose. And I'm just no, but today's going to be a great day. We expect great things to happen for us today. We expect great things to happen for you today, but you got to call it in your existence because I can't call it in there for you. You see what I'm saying? So, first and foremost, let's thank God for this beautiful day. Thank God for the lives. Thank God for being able to reach people from other planets. I mean, I said planets. Wow. Hey, you know, some people be on their own planet, though. I ain't gonna lie. Nah, but thank God for the opportunity. Thank God for my wife, my family, our platforms, the people who follow. Thank God for having another day to be able to seek the kingdom and all of his righteousness. Thank God for all these, you know, I don't even want to say thank God for the things. I want to just say thank God for even having citizenship, having awareness that we belong and we are representing something bigger than ourselves, right? It feels good to be a part of something bigger and also not just be a part, but recognizing that we are a part of something bigger.
Yeah.
Right? And first and foremost, that's just what I wanted to say. I wanted to say thank God, man. You know, you have anything to say?
Not really. Oh my God. I just kind of went to my own planet.
I told you everybody be on this planet. What did I tell y'all? Didn't I say that?
I was just like drifting away.
You want to share what you was drifting about?
No. Definitely not.
All right.
But yeah, today we're going to be talking more about like Proverbs chapter 18, verse 2, which is mostly talking about not being open to learning or not being open to understanding and knowledge. Sometimes we kind of be ignorance. We ignore the things that are going to take us out of poverty. We ignore the things that are going to bring us to the next opportunity. So we're going to be talking about that today. We have about 5 points that we're going to share with you guys.
Okay.
And, of course, our own point of view about the situation.
Yeah, about like growth and people being ignorant to not wanting to grow.
Yeah.
Let alone...
When I look back, I remember I used to be that type of person who was not open to like new things and new concept, and I wasn't open to learning any other skill, but I did want change. So
you remember
it was clashing with me wanting change, right? I want change, but I don't want to learn a new skill. I don't believe in certain things. I was just kind of in my own bubble. Which didn't work, right?
Yeah.
And now that I know better, of course, I do better. Yes.
I remember that one time when I asked you if you believed in, did you have an open opinion or did you believe in aliens? I was like beings that are from another planet. You were like, I don't know. I don't really think.
No, I still don't.
I mean, you still don't. Yeah. They live. Anyways,
I still don't.
I remember
Jessica, what's up?
What up, though, Jessica?
No one likes you guys. Okay.
We like you.
That's
Thank
good.
you. Anyways, I remember when you gave that response, and then you told me later on that y'all had seen a mermaid on the beach in South Africa.
But that doesn't mean that I should believe in alien. I see alien as things like, you know how they make the movies.
Not the movies, but more of like other beings. That's what alien means. Yeah. A foreign being.
Well, maybe I didn't know that part.
Speak for yourself,
Jessica.
That's what I'm talking about. Kingdom citizens in the lock, fam. Kingdom citizens in the building.
Let's go.
Get them. That's all I said. Wang, 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 wang. We ain't about to get into that. Come on, man. We ain't got time for the love like that.
That was fun. I love it.
I love it too.
Speak for yourself, Jessica. Speak for yourself.
Anyways, yeah. With that being said, that was one of the things. But that's what the whole point of the conversation today for people who don't want change, and basically are stuck in a mind frame.
Don't want change, but don't believe in certain things that you like. You ignore you
stay
ignoring things. Yes, like you just like I also used to ignore things. Like I still do ignore like news, like what's happening around the world. Like
that's selective though.
I still ignore those things, and I've never ever had opened up to those things. But like it's also. On another perspective, like you might be ignoring your finances, you might be ignoring like the you know what I mean,
like
you might
health.
be ignoring your health. Yes, you might be ignoring learning a new skill, and you don't know that that's where God wants you to be over
there. You might
be
ignoring your loved ones. Right now, when I say loved ones, there's levels to it, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't need to talk to all your family members because they ain't all there yet. Well, but there's level to it. You can't ignore your you can't ignore your like loved ones, like your wife, your children, like that stuff like that. Your mom and your dad, things like that. Like people who are very close, honor your mother and your father, so you can demonstrate to your children that this is the way to be. So when they get older, they can see the demonstration and the blueprint. To what you're demonstrated already, to what you have demonstrated already.
Yeah.
But long story short, cultivating your mindset is a whole major thing. You want to be very tapped in, tuned in on how you are expanding your present moment and who you are, right? And that quote that says, "Be not of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind," highlights that wisdom, knowledge, and understanding is very important. Like, who's the prince of darkness? We already know who that is, right? And the prince of darkness means the prince of ignorance, right? The prince of delusion, the prince of majestic facade. Like everything is an illusion, right? Everything is a frontal. Everything is a instant gratification. Like, oh, you can have it this way, but right?
Right, yeah.
It's a whooshy kind of situation, right? And if you don't know that. I remember, I'm gonna tie this in, and we're gonna jump right into it. My mom, when I was younger, my mom used to take us, or I say us, man, it was just me. Anyways, my mom used to take me to the shoe store, right? And I remember having the desire of being of the world, like with the little kids, because the kids had like Nikes and stuff like that, and Jordans, and I did, right? Yeah. And more the story is that they impressed upon my subconscious that this was important. Right. It made me question. And my mom took me to the store one day. She was like, "Good, you can get one pair of shoes, right?" Yeah. Right. Cat Williams said the same. That's how I know great minds think alike, because this is not a one man situation. But long story short, took me to the store and said, "You can get one pair of shoes." Took me to another store, and she was like, "You can get that from that one pair of shoes. You can get 5 pair of shoes. Which executive decision would you like to make?" And I was like, shoot, let's get the 5 pair of shoes. Like, I ain't about to get 1 pair of shoes. Like, look, got the light up ones and all that stuff. But it's broadened the perspective. Hey, where's the Batman? The Spider-Man.
The Batman cup?
Yeah, the Batman cup is over there. It's in the game. We over here promoting the brand. Yeah. Low key. Hey, the Iron Man.
Oh, my God.
All right, we in there in the building, man. But, yeah, long story short, she had...
said extra something. What? I can't see. Can you see that? But I think the point of the story was
extraterrestrial life must exist, but there's actually not much
evidence of alien contact.
Contact. Yeah. Long story short, that was the point of perspective of me seeing that there's more than what meets the eyes, right? And I was more venture off into like, okay, I would rather. I'm glad you presented both of these options. I see that this one is more valuable. So let me roll with this one, right? And so I was open to changing and open to learning and gathering something newer than what I was pressed upon my subconscious by the world that this was more valuable. Mm-hmm. So we're going to jump right into today's message.
All right, let's get in. Number one, the importance of seeking understanding.
It's so important.
Tell us more about that. What do you think about like seeking understanding? Because I know that when I met you, you were already like studying things. Yeah. Like learning about a lot of stuff outside your culture, inside your culture. You know, a lot. You were doing a lot. And I was like, how is he able to know about this and about this and about this and about this, you know? But yeah, tell us more about that. Like
I
the
think
importance of how important it is to you to seek understanding.
it brings you to a center of awareness. It allows you to understand. It allows you to do what every human is seeking to do at the end of the day, which is find God within self, right? Because we are identifying ourselves with who we are and like, oh, I'm from here and then, but we're literally tacking on labels that were imprinted on us by someone else, right? And like, with that being said, like even the United States of America wasn't called the United States of America. Even like Egypt wasn't called Egypt; it was called Kemet. And so like we take on a lot of information and labels that are not necessarily the truth, right?
Right.
And so, with that being said, I think we're all just seeking to get closer to that ultimate fulfillment cessation. So, as you're seeking, it just brings you closer to that source of information, to that source of connection.
Thank you, future boy.
Gratitude and appreciation. Yeah, it brings us to that source of connection, right? That main point of I used to be a black person, but I understand that I'm a citizen of the kingdom of heaven. I used to be from Detroit, but I understand that I'm from heaven, right? I'm from heaven, born in Detroit.
Yeah.
Right? I just so happened to land in Detroit to influence that territory and expand from there.
Yeah.
Right? And I started to really detach from labels, right? Because like even with us as we are identified or as we are addressed as African Americans, we had to be compliant with that. That word literally came to us, and we were like, well, I guess that's what we can identify ourselves. We are American and we are African. And it's like, even the word black, like that was pre-identified for us before we even came to agreement that that's what we wanted to be named. We didn't even really have a secular choice to name ourselves. So therefore, long story short, seeking understanding is so important because whatever you do has to be understood. When you are talking about managing anything, and that's what we are here for, to be great stewardships.
Yeah.
You want to get a car, you want to produce things, I don't even know if you want to be famous or whatever the case may be, you want to start a business, you want to have relationships, you want to manage your body, you have to have understanding. Long story short. Yeah. Everything involves understanding. When you get a job,
read Bendito's
Bendito.
comment.
All right. When you get a job,
Bendito. Is that how you say her name? Oh my God.
Bendito. Bendito.
Read his comment.
He said, the pursuit of meaning is the pursuit of understanding. Exactly. Yes. That's what true. Does it mean? Why am I? What's that? What's the old thing? They're like, who, what, where, and how. Who, what, where, and how. Whenever you are addressing or telling a story or you are understanding what the story is about, you want to understand and get the gravitage.
What, where, how.
Yeah. Who is in the story? Who was there? Where were you? Where were you? Who, what?
I feel like also, true wisdom comes from listening and learning, not just speaking, right? So you have to have that pause in your when somebody's talking to you, you have to also think about like, okay, or when you're reading something, it's not always have to be someone speaking to you, but like if you're seeking understanding and you're seeking knowledge into whatever it is that you are looking at, let me say it's your finances, you would definitely have to understand before you put your like input. Like let me say somebody's saying like you can make $50,000 in 2 weeks, right? And then you don't pause to understand if like how can you do that? Yeah. But you just swipe up or you turn off the TV or you close the book because now you have this thing in your mind that says, how can I do that? Like I can't do that. you're already rejecting it in your mind. You're like, I can't do that.
Yeah.
You didn't stop, or you didn't listen to understand what they're talking about if you are open to do that. So that's where knowledge comes in and understanding comes in. You need to understand the other person, and if they're bullshitting, you'll know, because you're like, okay, that's bullshit.
Yeah.
Or that's right. I can do that. Yeah.
They say knowledge. They actually say wisdom. What makes a wise man is the fact that he understands the principles and laws. Understand the principles and laws. You see what I did there? It's very valuable for you to do that. Like, yesterday we had our one of our podcasts, and we had a special guest on. And in our podcast, as we were interviewing, which that video will be dropping very soon too, guys, go definitely check out the other videos on the other side. But yeah, long story short, engaging in conversations and being able to backtrack what people were saying in the midst of the interview or in the midst of the conversation, shows great value of comprehension, which comprehension reverts back to understanding.
Yeah. Number two.
Number two
is the danger of being opinionated without knowledge.
Having a lot of stuff to say, but ain't saying shit.
Yeah.
Ain't saying
you say it a lot,
loving thing.
But you're not making sense.
Yeah. I think also learn when to be confidential about what you're saying, learning to be able to shush and learning how to be in the background is a very masterful skill. Right? Because if you don't know, the more you're quiet, the more everybody will spill the beans about what to know. Right. And then you're able to just basically absorb and observe. Right. And it's a very masterful tool, but I focus on that. It's something to lean towards it's something to master. Here's a good one. Why is it more important to lean into that kind of character and character? Lean into that type of character and that mindset. When you're in a room full of successful multi-million-dollar billionaires and you were invited in that room to even sit amongst them, it is very important, if you don't know things, is to be quiet and sit back and listen to the other minds. Right. When you have a valid question and a very valid point to point out, it is necessary. It's good to share, but most and foremost, you want to be quiet and listen. You want to take on that personality when you were a kid, when the adults were in the room and they were talking. Right? You're just listening, and so you're picking up a lot of things that they're saying, and I can't believe he just made that cuss word, and whatever they're saying, like, you're just observing, right? But there's levels to being in the room and being able to chime in or being able to absorb what is being said.
I'll say also, like, social media. I remember this other time, a long time ago, the lady came in. You were talking about something and you were cursing too as well. You were talking about the Bible and you were using curse words, and then so when I'm thinking about like how social media people will argue, and they started arguing on the comments, right? Somebody says they did apologize. It was a back and forth type of thing. Like sometimes you would argue, but with not real understanding that where was this person coming from. Let me say you just got in the live, and you don't know what's happening, but you hear God and you hear the curse word. I'm not saying that was the case. But what I'm saying, it was like you didn't know what was happening, right? And then you just come in and you comment, and you didn't get real understanding of what exactly was happening or what exactly was going on. Yeah.
I think also too, with understanding, right? I understand what she meant, and it was a message of, as an ambassador and as representing the kingdom of heaven, there is a certain demeanor, character that I must portray. And having vulgar language and being able to change old language and new language allows you to position yourself to the world a specific way. Because if you're demonstrating the culture of heaven, then you need to demonstrate it fully, and you need to have integrity and swag of the kingdom, right? And so that's what I understood when she was saying it. And I was like, yeah, you're right. And I was super into what I was saying, but it was like, yeah, there's no excuses. Like, correct yourself before you wreck yourself. You want to to talk about God, make sure you correct yourself.
Right.
When you see a lawyer, the lawyer is not in the courthouse cussing the judge. He's not cussing when he loses the case. He has a demeanor about him, a sophisticated, successful characteristic about him.
Right.
An upright, right? Confident.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I understood from what she was saying, and I get what you're saying too.
Yeah, I like that picture. Okay.
All right. So with that being said, number 3, the power of listening before speaking. How many of y'all don't do that? Huh? Tell me about it.
I know that at some point when we have conversations, sometimes it goes to a point where maybe let me say we're starting to talk and then you're saying something and I didn't listen to understand, or I just wanted to speak because I wanted to say what I wanted to say and you were saying something and I didn't understand. You know what I mean, right? It's like a conversation, but it's not really a conversation because I'm not understanding. I'm just responding, Vice versa. Sometimes it happens the other way around, and I had to explain myself maybe like 5 times in order for you to like, oh, now I get it. Okay, so now we can move here to here to here to here. Tyrone,
those are not mugs, those are cups. No. It's the same difference, Tyrone. Don't get out of my
He got it and he read the comments. Oh my God, I love it for you.
Yeah, but yeah, I understand that, and also much respect for even saying that out loud. A lot of people wouldn't even put themselves out there like that.
Yeah.
But that's what's up though, because even a lot of times what I started to understand is holding your tongue is so valuable. Holding your tongue, because when you're talking, I need to make sure that I show you. That was one of the things that I really started to master with dealing with our relationship and understanding our relationship is like, I'm gonna show you that I'm listening with you're talking about, right? Right. And I'm not gonna have you. So you don't understand me. Like, dude, I'm gonna show you that I fucking understand. I want you to fucking do the same, right? Oh, excuse me, guys. It be slipping sometimes.
To do the same, yeah.
You can't let your mind go on autopilot. No autopilot, right? Yeah. But long story short, I started to develop and understand that there's a way of slowing down time. There's no rush to speak a lot of the time.
Yeah.
If you listen to great speakers, they say a sentence and there's a pause, right? And then they go to the next and there's a pause because they want you to absorb the impact of what they're saying, then trying to just listen while they're saying a bunch of stuff.
Right.
Right. And long story short, I wanted to demonstrate by also learning those key words. Like, so what I'm hearing you say is point this out, point this out, point this out, point this out. Does that sound like the gist of what you were speaking on? Yes, it does. No, it doesn't. You're missing one thing. Oh, okay, one thing. So what I ultimately heard...
No, you're missing everything.
Right. What I ultimately heard you say this, and this, right? Yes, okay. Now we're both on the same page. Now I understand, right? And it's a skillful level because you can not only take that skill into your relationship, but you can take it in other environments. You can take it with your clients. You can take it in seminars. You can take it in your job, in your workplace. You can take it, long story short, in your business. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P. You got the G. Right? So, Proverbs 18, chapter 18, verse 13 says, to answer before listening, this is folly and shame, right? That is folly and shame, right? Yeah. Meaning, you didn't even hear what they said, bro. You
Grand Rising, JD. Hey,
what up,
JD,
though, JD? Grandmaster for Rich Rising. We got real odds and evens.
Grand Rising to
Blessings to you, bro. He be smashing on the comments.
I know, I like it.
On the comments back to back. I'd be like, yo, I gotta go in there. Like I gotta get back. But yeah, man. Long story short, it's like shame. It's why you got something to say if you ain't even retained or understood what I'm saying. Yeah. And with brothers and having conversations with the bros and stuff like that, a lot of the times that happens.
Really? I thought that men are it's bad. What was going on with
I don't know what happened.
It's bad. What was going on with
I don't know what happened. YouTube just shut down. Anyways,
what was happening?
We are understanding like no, it's just a bunch of there be connections. Look, we all like having the conversations, but if you really trying to get the movement of us moving and creating something and understanding, a lot of the times when bros are having conversations, everybody's just trying to have what they're trying to say. Everybody like trying to be right. All the bros are trying to be right. Everybody trying to be right? And you only have really level-headed bros out of the conversation who are like, nah, bro, he got a point, though. He got a point. And when everybody can come to a moment of listening and understanding what's happening, then they can point out the flaws of the conversations. Now, a lot of the times when it comes to bros, they ain't listening. Yeah. Especially if me and the bro going back and forth. Be like, what is that boy? But he trying to be right. He just want to be right. So he ain't really listening to be able to slap and say, what I'm hearing you say is A, B, C, D. So what I'm trying to get you to understand, by me hearing you say, this is your point, A, B, C, D, I'm getting you to understand this. This is my point and my agenda of putting this on top of your A, B, C, D, right? And nobody's having conversations like that. Everybody's like, no, man, that ain't right there. So it goes on and elongates. So
I feel like with women, it's kind of the same, but instead of the argument, because the argument would lead to a fight, instead of an argument, like everyone has their own personality that they want to show. Like one wants to show that I have money, then one wants to be just mean because they just mean, they don't care about anyone else. Another one is just like quiet, listening and just smiling and laughing at everybody's dumbness. And then another one is just like wants to show that I am smarter than this person and that person.
Sounds like the bros.
It's really
I like the bros. Can I get some ones in the chat for the people who feel like that's the same thing for the bros? Like,
I really thought that the man was the guys was the one who have like real conversations.
No, we do have we really do have real conversations. Like, yes, we do. But like I said, it ain't a level of understanding. It's more of a level of everybody got something to say. Right?
Oh, and then another one. I forgot to add another personality. Yeah. Another personality of a woman.
Shout outs to my people with the ones.
Another personality of a woman is gonna come in and be the dumbest one and just
like
talk
the bros.
and talk about like stupid stuff. I'm going through this, but I like it. But we telling you that this is what you're supposed to do, but you still say I like it.
And what I like so much is that when you see similarities with the ladies and the men or the men groups, like this is how you also know where it says in the Bible is like, let them have dominion, right? Which means that there ain't no hierarchy between the man and the female. Right, God just so happened to conversate with man because man is the most easiest source to conversate with when it comes to. There's so much more details when it comes to it, but he is the per se, not even lawgiver, but the one to demonstrate what the laws are.
Yeah,
right. Because
Tyrone says
what makes
Tyrone said we call those airheads.
Airheads, yeah. What makes a woman is not a woman. What makes a woman is a man.
Yeah.
Right?
That's why
my wife had my wife had full communication with her father, right? Which allowed her to be such a amazing wife too as well, right? And what I understand is that if you notice that the statistics when it comes to like women understanding their femininity and things like that, it doesn't come from another woman. Now, it does come like as far as in like the structure, hygiene, how to take care of yourself, how to present yourself and things like that. Yeah. But mainly it's the father presence that gives that worth of I am more. So when I meet another man, I understand my worth because of my father. Yeah. Right? Because of what the father instilled. And that's why God talks to men. But when you're talking about the same similarities between man and woman, that's why he said let them have the power and dominion. There ain't you ain't better than her, you ain't over her, maybe you're stronger than her, but she can outsmart you. You know what I'm saying? If she really about that life, she can definitely take you out the game. But
JD said, men are just easy to talk to. Tell it like it is, lol. That's right.
Facts.
And then
cheers.
Hello, stop and smile. What's going on? My father treated me like a princess. I love that.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
That's our jobs to instill in the woman the femininity and the what God ultimately created us for. Right. And that's why it's so powerful, right? That the man is in the household when it comes to definitely girls. Right. Right. Obviously with boys too, you know what I'm saying? because the father teaches both boy and girl how to be who they are.
Yeah.
The mother is she is the so the father drops the laws. The mother, what did Moses do? He
Okay, let me read this comment. Tyrone says, women definitely outsmart the men anytime, any day. Absolutely. And then JD says, oh man, I just want to be happy, healthy child, but I can't lie and say I don't hope it's a boy. Oh, nurturing.
Well, I hope it's a boy for you too as well.
Nurturing.
Nurturing, yes. Yo, that was the key word we used yesterday in our podcast with our special guest. We're going to be dropping that video soon for you guys. We got a couple going right now. One is finished. It's uploaded now. And, we own it, bro. We own it. So definitely go over there and go check out those videos. Definitely, if you guys receive value out of those videos, let us know in the chats. Let us know. Odds and evens. Always smashing the comments, always giving the insight. Yeah. So I just want to say I appreciate y'all in advance for doing that as well. Right. And then long story short, just going right back to what I was saying is that it's important for the man's energy to be there. It's important that that's why there's no differences when it comes to that. It's just more of, that's what I was trying to say. The man is the lawgiver. So I give my daughter, yo, don't do this, don't call your mom, make sure when I leave, make sure you listen to your mom, and she's the enforcer, right? What did your daddy say, right? Didn't your dad tell you this before you left? Yeah. Right, and then that enforces basically like the relationship between Adam and God, right? I'm sorry, not Adam and God. Basically, between the relationship, basically between the relationship between Moses and God. Mm-hmm. God gave Moses the laws. Moses went to the people and told them what the laws was, and told them, God said, this is the laws. Don't forget, right? And so he was the enforcer of the laws. He was the one that reminded them of the laws, and that's how you make a household of a man and woman. But the man's got to be in tune, tapped in, turned on with not only himself but God, right? Because that's the only way to get through the whole being. Oh yes, you're right.
Okay. Oh yes, you're right. Right. Okay, so Tyrone said only because the woman was deceived first, in my opinion. Lol. What do you think about that, babe?
Yeah. At the same time, yes. Oh wait. Only because
deceived
the woman
first.
You're talking about Adam and Eve. Yeah. You're talking about Adam and Eve.
Oh yeah.
See, here you go. I got you.
I think it depends. Okay.
I got you. What happened was Adam failed to maintain the laws. Now he had told her, but he didn't stay in character of the laws. Yeah. And this is where a lot of men fell in the household. You don't bend to anything, and the wife is supposed to be ultimate clarity of what the laws are. So even if Eve had ate the apple, it wouldn't have affected anything if Adam had kept the law. Yeah. And he didn't even have many laws. God only gave him one commandment: don't eat from the tree. He had it good. Right. He had it good. Now we got a whole bunch of laws that we have to follow, and understanding that, well, we don't have to follow, but we got a whole bunch of laws that with the integrity that we are who we are, we understand that those laws are divine laws, and we respect those divine laws, even if there's some that are like, well, I've been of this world for some time now. It's going to be hard for me. And nobody cares. The laws are the laws, right?
Okay, JD says, maybe I could be a guest on the podcast. I would love to tell my story. Obviously, I could go over it with you first. That would be amazing.
We like that.
We are collaborating with small creators right now. You don't want me to say small creators, but we are collaborating and inviting small creators into our channel to do podcasts. So email us, because I told you to email us the other time if you're interested to be part of this game. Email us, and then we'll talk to you and stuff like that, and then we'll take it from there. Okay. If you are, of course, in the mindset, because we don't want to be dibbling and dabbling with someone who's not in the right mindset.
Yeah, you can just move them out.
But I know that you guys are good.
Yeah, long story short, that was the reason why. Grandmaster for Rich Rising on this beautiful day. Adrienne, thank you for dropping in. Smash that like button. There. Long story short, I wanted to say that was the reason why everything went sour, is because Adam failed to revamp the laws. Like, this is the structure, nothing else. This is what. And remember, I said what makes a wise man is that he understands the laws, the divine laws and principles. So when he gets in a room and people are like, yo, you so wise, yo, why you like you move different? It's like, because he's practiced and he's put into the principles. Do you understand?
Yeah.
The word principle means, so you break down prince, it means first. Prince means first. Principle means first law. So if you understand the principles and you understand the divine laws of God, you become a very powerful, wise person.
Right.
Hence why Solomon said, I don't want you to bless me with the things. I want you to bless me with the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. And that's what made him the most wealthiest man over his father, which was David. Right? He was the most wealthiest man. And if you had to do comparison, Solomon was wealthier than his father. But it was started with David first.
Are you ready to go?
I'm ready for the next.
Okay. The next one says the difference between a wise person and a fool. Okay, so a wise person is open to correction and growth. Okay, so they don't mind to be told that that's wrong, this is the right way, right?
Yep.
A fool is more focused on being right than being wise.
Woo-hoo.
So, which one are you?
So the question is, are you willing to learn, or do you only want to be heard?
Yeah.
Right. Let me get some ones in the chat if you're willing to learn. Let me get some twos in the chat if you just want to be heard. I feel like there's gonna be a bunch of twos. I feel like they're gonna be two.
First in order of importance, man. First in order of importance.
First in order of importance, men.
I kind of don't understand.
Let me take that in. Tyrone said, because of the woman, first in order of importance.
First in order of importance.
I think he's talking about what we just dropped.
Oh,
First in order of the importance.
Alrighty then.
And then, long story short, the Grandmaster is not the Grandmaster because he teaches his fighting style and his way and philosophy of life. He is the Grandmaster because he understands that he is the student at all times. Why is he the student at all times?
Principal always.
Oh, okay. Yes, sir. Why is he the student at all times? Why is the Grandmaster the student? The Grandmaster is the student at all times because even when teaching the grasshoppers, he still has to break down the comprehension to the grasshoppers in a way that he had never seen it from, right? What does that mean? That means I learned it this way. I don't mean she gonna learn it the same way I learned it. And by me understanding the grasshopper, as I'm telling her the way I learned it, I see that my grasshopper is not really retaining the information the way that I learned. So now that I have to break it down in a way that they are able, and I have to baby feed my grasshopper in a way that they are able to retain the information in a slower pace. So as I'm doing that, it gives me a different perspective of learning and seeing it from that angle and understanding that there's more than what meets the eyes.
I love that.
That was it. That was the one, boy.
I love that.
Number 5.
Okay, let me give you something to apply.
How to cultivate
that a wise man or a wise person would apply.
Okay.
How to cultivate a heart of understanding. So the first one is pray for wisdom. Right. Yes, you have to pray for wisdom, just like
and discernment.
Just like who was the guy who prayed
Solomon.
Solomon. Okay, and then read books, study scriptures, and surround yourself with wise people. Right. Practice active listening. Repeat what others say to ensure understanding.
And praying for wisdom is only so much. Like, you're not going to just get wisdom. You got to be the seeker. That's why it says seek ye first. Seek and ye shall find it. Knock and the door shall be open. Ask and it shall be given.
Right.
And then it says it again. Seek and ye shall findeth. Knock and the door shall be open. Opened, and then ask and it shall be
given.
Answered, or something like that, or giveth. But it's basically repeating the same thing in a different format.
Different way, yeah.
Like it's like the same thing, but it's like this is what you need to do, right? And so forth. Going back to this, you ask for wisdom and discernment. And you're gonna get the insight, but the wisdom literally comes. So I guess I told you again, it comes from you actually being a seeker, which is knowing the laws, knowing the principles, right? And I'm not talking about. I'm not just talking about the laws of where we're at right now in your state and stuff. I'm talking about the laws of divine God. Understand that there's universal laws, that there's divine laws that God has given. The 10 Commandments, that's going to always be a thing, right? The book of Proverbs. That's going to always be a thing. But there's more laws than the 10 Commandments. You got to understand, Christ has said, I come not to change the laws of Moses, nor the other prophets. So that means the question is, what were the other prophets? And how many laws did Moses give? And when you ask that question, you will seek for it. And then, therefore, you will find all the laws from the other prophets and all the laws that Moses gave the Israelites. Right? And those laws are still in play today. So, yeah.
All right. I think that was it for today.
That was it today. That was it. Read books, study scriptures, and surround yourself around wise people. They said, I keep hearing this, was like, if you're the smartest one in the room, you're in the wrong room. If you're the wisest one in the room, you're in the wrong room. And I think also too, he's talking about not settings like lives or anything. He's talking about like in your personal circle. Yeah. You know, because what you're not doing is growing. You're not forcing yourself to grow, and you're not putting yourself around people who are higher than you. Right?
I feel like I've always came across that in my every circle, not every circle, but some of the circles I had, talking about as I'm growing, like, you know, growing up, not my friends from college, of course, like understanding and learning myself and, you know, learning other things. I feel like I've been into circles where I'm just like, not that I was the wisest, but I knew better. Not that, what, you want more?
No, I'm telling you, I finished my tea.
But I know
I don't finish.
You don't. Yeah, you never finish it.
Never.
Well.
Yeah. Yeah. Understanding.
You want to really do
understanding.
This right now?
No. Yeah, but yes, you were saying.
Yeah, but as I was saying, like if you, I used to be like, okay, I know better than this. You know, I shouldn't be doing this right now. But I would be there and I would stay there and I would lower my standard or lower my not expectations. Lower myself, like put myself in these people's levels, like want to be in the same level, not understanding that I should be out of here, not here. You know what I mean? Not in a bad way, but I didn't know back then. Now I know, and now it's like, okay, this is where I'm supposed to be. I had to remove myself from all those people because it was in aligning with where I'm trying to go.
They say where. The question is like, well, if that's the case, where do I find those people?
I know, right?
And the answer is this. You find them as you begin to seek. You find them during the stuff you watch. You find them on YouTube. You find them on in certain environments. You find them in certain spaces that require you to spend a lot of money.
I would say also you
No, okay. That means because you got to think about it.
I didn't even say anything. Listen.
You have to spend money. I do, because you have to spend money. Like, even think about what we have been. Think about all the stuff we've done. We had to circulate money. Yeah. You cannot have a whole grip on money and come from a place of lack and ask for God to do miracles for you. It will not work, because God does not operate from a place of lack. He operates from a place of abundance. Yeah. And so you have to understand that the money is not for you to hold on to. It's for it to flow through you. Flow through you, my guy. Do you understand what I'm saying? Y'all understand what I'm saying?
That's right.
Hit the ones in the chat if y'all understand what I'm saying. The ones in the chat if y'all understand what I'm saying. It has to flow through you. You cannot hold on to it. Yes, you have to manage the money. But if you ain't managing it by paying your taxes to God, you ain't managing nothing. You just paying bills. Yeah. That ain't nothing. Right? You're not demonstrating to God that, hey, yo, you just gave me $2,000. I'm about to do 10% of this $2,000 to show you that I appreciate you for giving this $2,000. Right. Now, I did go to work, but you blessed me with the job, or "Oh, you didn't bless me with the job. I filled out the application. I just got the job by myself." You know what I'm saying?
Really? You think so?
Right. Whatever point of view y'all, you know what I'm saying, anybody want to look at it, it's like, okay, whatever, dude. You got it. You got it. You got it. When they fire your ass, don't be talking about, "God help me, I got the bills to pay." Like, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. But understanding that the money has to flow through you. In order for you to be in those spaces and in those opportunities and around those type of people, you got to circulate money because they do not operate from a place of lack. So therefore, you got to pay for the seminars. You got to pay for the classes. You got to show up, right? You got to be there and you got to make an investment. You don't got to do nothing. Number one, let me rephrase that. You don't got to do nothing. I got to do it because I want growth. I understand that even with being in the presence of a king, I got to circulate some money, bro. I can't be like, "King, I only have 50 cents. Like, you can't do that, King. I'll be like,
"Oh, I'm left with..."
Right, you ain't even gonna get in the doors operating like that. You're not gonna even, you gonna be out there outside the gate, outside the other gate, all the way out there on the sidewalk pavement in front of the guards. You're like, "King, are you on the list?" No. But you get what I'm saying, though. You get the gist of what I'm saying. I mean, I'm making funnies, but I'm being real serious about it, is that you got to sign up for the stuff. You got to be there. You got to say, "All right, I'm gonna take this investment." You can't come from a place of lack. Meaning, a place of lack and fear is also like, "What if it don't work out? What if I'm wasting my money?" That's not your job to be thinking like that. Ooh. You're not supposed to be thinking like that. Yeah. And if you think like that, then that's you gonna keep getting the same results. You got to think optimistic. And if it don't work out with this investment that you did, it don't work out. Let me move on to the next. You got to fall off the bike. You can't ride the bike for the first time and not fall. That just not happening.
That's so
It's not happening. You may not fall on the first skibbity paps and right, but it's coming eventually.
Crazy. You already know how I feel about God and money, lol.
I'm telling you. And I really understand that God does not want you to. God made money so personal that he understood that it could be a replacement of another master. Yeah. And that's why he entrusts you with the money so he can see how you truly are at heart. Right? He wants to see how you truly are, because if money can swindle you, I mean, like, what, you want a person like that in your life? You want people like that? You get $150 million, you know what I'm saying? You got your boys aside, you see something going on with your homeboy, he acting all funny and shit. I'm saying, though, you need to watch your back now. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? He wants something you got. And he might take you out for it. You know, it's real talk, you know?
All right, guys,
we said the thing. We did the thing. We came in here. We flipped the thing. We did the
that's my life right now. Let's go, JD.
That's your life. My life be like, ooh, ah.
Let's go. We love you guys.
Well, I hope that's not. Wait, he said, oh, yeah, well, you're right. But he said that's my life right now. And I did say something that was like the type of people. I hope that's not your life. I hope we're not talking about the same thing. Well, you need to exit. You need to exit those people out your life.
Yeah, he's probably saying like he's doing that. Homeboys ain't my boys.
Yeah, bro, you need to fall back.
Right.
You need to lean up out of there.
Lean back.
One of the homeboys was telling me, he's like, he was listening to some religious stuff. I got you, baby. He was listening to some. Oh my god. He was listening to some religious stuff, right? And I'm not a religious person. I'm a kingdom citizen of heaven, right? So I'm a citizen of the kingdom of heaven, and when I addressed it to him, I give him insight on it, and he was like, "Yeah, I was listening to these people who was talking about, grace or faith, live by faith and not by works." And then he was like, I was like, "What does that mean?" And so he explained it, and I was like, "No, law of attraction means to pull it. You can't attract what you don't act. You gotta act to attract. It says attract. You gotta act first in order to attract."
What did he say? Wait a minute. What did he say?
He was talking about that some of these religious people say that faith without works. So you gotta have faith, but there ain't no work you need to do with it because God already gave you grace. Right? So when it comes to like sin and you like When I say sin, for those who don't know what sin means,
I can
sin
imagine
means
God pushing you like this to something you don't need to know. It's like,
I say eat the doodle.
get your face over there. This is where I want you to go.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my God.
And
Yeah.
long story short, I was telling her, I said, look, bro, I said, you know, when it comes to stuff like that, I don't even indulge. I don't even be like, oh, I'm interested in see what they saying a little bit more deeper. I slide out of there real quick, like
It's also
because
like, it's also.
wait, let me finish. Because I don't want to go back and forth with somebody who already is set on their belief. I don't want to go back and forth, so it's better for me to slide out the way, real gradually and surely.
I think I understand too where they're coming from when they say like you like God has already had it for you. Like, you know, it's up to you if you want to fetch it 30 years down the line or you want to fetch it right now. If you want to fetch it right now, you definitely have to work towards it, right? You have to ask, seek. And I was reading Akanya's Bible story yesterday, and I understood that they were talking about how I can't remember how do they put it, but it was like in the moments where you trying to seek your purpose, you need to ask God, why am I here? Show me where am I supposed to go, right? Because I don't want to be falling off and doing wrong things and going here and there. Of course, we have to have experience. Sometimes he's going to put you in the situations where he's like, I want you to get here so you can have experience. I want you to get here in the whole so that you understand that you need to take care of your finances, you know, so you can understand that you need to be paying tithes, so you can understand that you need to be investing your money. Your money needs to be working for you, not the other way around, you know. But he was like, you have to seek or ask God what it is that you have for me. Why am I here, right? Sometimes you won't see it until you're ready to see it, right? But if you're going to wait and pray and just like, I know God got something for me, and then you sit and then you watch TV the whole day and then you go to sleep and then you wake up and then you do the same thing over, you're not learning anything. So which means you don't have no creativity, which means you're going to stay in poverty. Because you're not being creative and you're not willing to learn, to understand. And what else was I going to say? Oh my God.
Faith without works, baby.
Yeah, faith, pretty much what you just said. It's like, it's either you fetch it 50 years down the line or you die without having it, or you seek understanding and knowledge right now and wisdom right now, than waiting until you are 70 or 80 years old. Yeah. Where you can't read anymore because you're blind.
Yeah. So, religion is...
I'm more spiritual than follower of a religion.
Religion is man's...
What was that for?
I was talking. He's like, all right.
I'm reading the comments.
You were supposed to say everybody. Let me read the comments. But yeah, religion is man's attempt to get back what Adam lost, right? Which is kingdomships, right? Which is the Holy Spirit, right? Which is the kingdom, or which is the culture of heaven on earth, right? The understanding the culture, understanding the government. Yeah, that's what man had lost. So religion is man's attempt to try to get back what they had lost.
It's called sloth.
Sloth. I have to look that up. Hey Alexa, define sloth. I know what sloth is. Wait a minute. It's like sluggish, moving.
Sloth is a term that describes a person's habit of avoiding activity or exertion. It is a word that is used to refer to laziness or a disinclination to work. The definition of sloth can vary depending on the context in which it is used. Did that answer your question?
Yes, it did. Thank you very much, Alexa.
Thanks for your feedback.
It says one of the 7 daily sins. Hey, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, just long story short, to tie in on it, faith without works, I just feel like that's not a good concept to say. Yeah. Faith without works, because the universe and all the laws within it shows us that everything has to be an action based. You have to, you have to move forward. That's why he says, go forth and have power and dominion. Go forth. It means moving. So you cannot have faith without works. You can have faith in the midst of it, but you still have to have work. Everything that you are manifesting in life has to have work. In order for you to say, oh, I want the car, right? Dr. Miles Monroe was talking about his manifestation when he wanted his private jet. And he ended up getting a free private jet that he did not have to make any payments. It was already paid up, and somebody gave it to him for free. He said what he did was he had a picture of the private jet that he wanted,
Yeah.
He took the picture and he put it on his refrigerator. And every day he would look at that picture and he would go about his day, right? And he said some odd times later, they went somewhere, came back, boom. He was already still doing work in the middle, right? He was still serving. He was still informing the laws of God, He was still on a mission of doing the bigger picture. And it just so happened as him doing the work, God was like, boom, here you go. You just can't, by you continuously doing the work, here you go, right here. Now, if he had started going over to the left and stopped doing the work and just chill back and relax and not nothing, you're not going to manifest. But it had to still be the work for the faith to, because like the work shows the faith.
Right.
Without you not doing the work, how you gonna understand the faith? Faith is belief, but belief comes from you seeing the repetition of it. You believe, you have faith that the light's gonna come on because you hit the switch, and the belief comes from you knowing every time you over there hit the switch, the light come on.
Right.
I believe that the light gonna come on because I've seen evidence of it so many dang on times.
It's even subconsciously.
It's
you don't even think about it.
And that's
just
why.
Like.
And that's why God said he wants your heart, which is your subconscious mind, right? Because you've done it a repetition of times of understanding his word through your subconscious. So the words and everything that you're getting from it is now connected to your heart, which is through your emotions. Then you believe because now you're seeing evidence of what you read in the world.
Read Roy's comment. I love what you said.
All right. Let's see. To get back what we lost, we must turn to Yahweh, not create a all you can eat religious cults. Exactly. Yeah, man. That's so important, man, because you got to understand, like, that's why Jesus specified.
Oh, it's my laptop.
All right,
just
long story short, because we got to get out of here, guys.
Yeah.
Long story short, yes, what you said, and then also too, that's why, what was I about to say before I started dancing? He says the religious cults, Yahweh, all you can eat, religious cults. And I was going to say, this is why it was very important that Jesus was like, yo, all the laws that I'm not coming forth to here to basically change any laws. I'm giving you grace, but I'm not here to change any laws. I'm here to enforce the laws. I'm here to demonstrate what those laws are. Everything that Adam had wrote and everything that the prophets before him had wrote are still in play, right? So that means that, okay, what are those laws? And then also, too, he was specifying this for a reason because you had religious people creating laws that were cult-based. And so people started to be like, well, it says in the Bible that but those are not divine laws by God. They weren't even given by Moses nor the other prophets. They were given by the religious people. What they call them, Gentiles and snippets. What do they call them? They call them.
But I know it has to be your true undeniable feelings.
They call them. Where is it at? Seek first the kingdom. They call them. It's right there on the tip of my tongue. What do they call them? Pagans. Yeah, Gentiles and pagans. And pagans were there was a religious people. They were pagan. They practiced paganism, which is multiple gods, right? And that's why the whole the whole thing with Caesar and stuff like that. Like, long story short, don't practice the religious base. You got to be able to define what the difference between the two was so that you don't get too lost in, like, oh, you're not supposed to cut your hair, you're not supposed to do all this stuff and all that.
Yeah.
It's like that's more religious based stuff. It says your manifest
Your manifest
Lock Fam. What's up, Lock Fam? It says Lock Fam. I meant what up, though? Thank you for the love. It says your manifest only goes as far as you believe, because manifest is another aspect of praying. Can't describe it. Excuse me, guys. Can't describe it, but I know it has to be your true
undeniable.
I think that was trying to say undeniable feeling. Right. And I say yes to that. It's an undeniable feeling, but you also it's tapping in, man. They say the manifesting is a feeling. Right? It's a feeling. So with that being said, guys, we dropped the gems. We appreciate you guys. We up to 10 likes. We are about to be soaring beyond 10 likes, but we definitely love to see the 10 likes. We love the people and love the energy. Thank you, Lock Fam Kingdom citizens, for tapping in, tuning in, and locking in. Stay locked in.
God vibes only.
One up, y'all.
Peace and love.